Hey everyone, I'm coming to you from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Now, Vicksburg is a Confederate stronghold along the Mississippi River and was known by the Confederates as the nail that held the Confederacy together. What they mean by that is this is the connection to Texas and the armies in that region. If Vicksburg falls, the other stronghold that's here, Port Hudson in Louisiana, is also going to fall, and vice versa. If Port Hudson were to fall, Vicksburg will most likely fall. May 18th, 1863, General Ulysses S. Grant is going to come down and lay siege to Vicksburg. So why else is Vicksburg important? Well, it closes down the Mississippi River. By doing that, it keeps supplies and trade and other things from the Midwestern states who are fighting for the Union. That is going to cause grumbling in those states. They're sending troops to the east and here to the west to try to end this rebellion. And they feel like they're not getting anything out of it. There's even talk of those states seceding from the Union. Now, that does not happen, but it's interesting to note that because this river is shut down, how vitally important this river really was to not only the South, but to the North. That those grumblings actually happen. From May 18th to July 4th, Grant will be here and he will start putting a chokehold on the city. Now, he is going to try to take the defenses here. They are very formidable. And he's not able to just take them, although he does try, as I said. Vicksburg is not one battle. Vicksburg is a series of battles. There are just tons of probing actions that happen all around here. One of those actions is actually where Union troops put mines under the Confederate trenches and try to blow them up in order to create a hole. Now, this is also done in 1864 by an army under Grant at Petersburg at another siege. Neither time does that work. But what does work is the Union army surrounding Vicksburg. The commander here, John C. Pemberton, has two options. He's got 30,000 Confederates here, a lot of citizens to take care of in Vicksburg, and he's got to defend this area. He knows that once he runs out of food and water, the end is very near. What he hopes for is General Joseph E. Johnston's army to come here and relieve him. To come in and attack Grant at the same time Pemberton can maybe launch an attack and break out of Vicksburg and even defeat Grant. Unfortunately for Pemberton, Johnston will make it to about central Mississippi. He will send Pemberton a message saying, "I cannot come to the relief of Vicksburg because my army is too weak." Pemberton now knows what he has to do. At this point, further bloodshed is just really unnecessary. Vicksburg is going to fall either way. So on July 3rd, 1863, he's going to send out a flag of truce. And there's a marker right there. That marks the spot where the flag of truce is. And just to show you really how close we are, you can see the red marker back here, that little red dot. That's the Confederate lines. And right there, that blue dot, that is the Union lines. So we are very close. Confederates and Union lines were very close. There's several stories of them talking with each other, doing a little bit of trade. But anyway, Pemberton knows the end is near. He's about out of food. His water is now contaminated. And really, about a third of his troops are too sick to fight. There's just nothing more he can really do. So he asked for terms of surrender. Grant, in Grant fashion, at first says unconditional surrender. The Confederates, however, know that this is not really what Grant wants, or the Navy. The reason they know that is because they had broken the code between the signal stations and knew that literally the Navy had said to Grant, "I really don't want to transport 30,000 Confederates north. That's going to take about a month." Grant also realizing that, yeah, that's going to take a month, and basically my army is going to just have to move overland. We don't have transports. We can't go anywhere. We're going to lose supplies, all kinds of stuff. Agrees with the Navy that that's not a good idea. So on July 4th, right behind me, this is the surrender interview site. This is where Grant and Pemberton will come here in the lines, and they will discuss the terms of surrender. Grant will tell Pemberton that if the troops surrender and go home until properly exchanged and promise not to fight till that happens, then he will let that happen. Pemberton agrees to this, and on July 4th, 1863, the stronghold here at Vicksburg will fall. Union troops will march into the city, and they're not just going to march in and begin, tearing up stuff or burning anything down. They bring food and rations in for the Confederates. A lot of them, they called them scarecrows. They were so thin. So they'll bring in food and provisions, water, and not just to the soldiers, but also to the citizens. Grant will tell his soldiers not to molest the private property. Now, he makes a very bold move as Pemberton asks if the Confederates can bring out their private property. Grant realizes that this could mean slaves as well, so he does not allow that. He says no to that instead. But if you get a chance to come to Vicksburg, this is an amazing place. There's a lot to see here, a lot of other stories that I'm hoping to get to. But I just wanted to go over kind of an overall of what happens here at Vicksburg. And again, Vicksburg is not one battle. It's a series of several battles. So if you get a chance to come down to Mississippi, you definitely got to come to Vicksburg.